This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Gravely ill farm worker airlifted from Canada. Maxine Sutherland Jenkins is in emotional turmoil as her farm worker husband, Samuel Jenkins, lies in a hospital bed battling stage 4 cancer of the liver and the spleen at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Jenkins, a family breadwinner who hails from Friendship District in Clarendon, was transported back to Jamaica by air ambulance last Friday. The 53-year-old has been working in Canada on the Seasonal Agricultural Workers Program since 2003, financing his wife Maxine and the welfare of 3 children who are now adults. Jenkins' travel and medical costs are to be covered by health insurance, made possible with the assistance of liaison officials, according to a Ministry of Labor and Social Security representative who spoke with the news. Amid a public debate on work conditions on Canadian farms, the insurance coverage for Jenkins' airlift offers a rare insight into the welfare of seasonal Jamaican agricultural workers. The Canadian $5.45 deduction from Jenkins' daily wage funds his annual national insurance scheme repayment, as well as his health insurance, life insurance, cost of repatriation, and hospital costs incurred in Canada. We don't pay the health insurance, but the workers pay the health insurance through salary deductions, and this is one of the things that it covers, recognizing that the worker being there wouldn't necessarily know how to access and navigate all of these things. So that's the role of our liaison service, the Labor Ministry representative said. There has been increased scrutiny of the farm work program after unidentified Jamaicans hired in Canada outlined the grouses of long hours, intimidation, and poor living conditions. But Labor Minister Carl Samuda, who toured 9 farms recently, dismissed the allegations, describing the relationship between the farmers and the Jamaicans as excellent, strong, and pleasant. Maxine, who has been by her husband's side ever since he arrived, noted that Jenkins had lost a significant amount of weight and that his appearance had changed considerably. She also observed that his feet were swollen, preventing him from standing or walking, and that he has a distended stomach, which is a symptom of ascites, a condition in which fluid builds up in the abdomen. Him can't help himself, somebody have to help him, she said in a news interview. Maxine too has lost weight as a result of the anxiety of seeing her husband so ill. It's very hard, she said. When Jenkins embarked on the program, as he does annually, something felt off. Jenkins is weak and unable to speak much, but Maxine said that after landing in Canada in July, he suddenly fell ill 2 weeks later. She said that he initially reported experiencing a fever and that later, after seeing a doctor in Canada, he was diagnosed with cancer. His first son, Ricardo, she said, has not been taking his father's illness well. When him see the situation of him can't even hold the phone and talk. Him just tremble, just like myself, she added. Things are not looking hopeful and may take a turn for the worse, Ricardo's older sister, Anita Jenkins Spencer, told the news. Jenkins Spencer said the farm worker was the first of 12 siblings to have been diagnosed with cancer. Gang violence allegedly behind the killing of man in St. Anne. The St. Anne police are theorizing that the killing of a man along the Bull Bay Point main road in Oteria, St. Anne, Saturday evening was as a result of an ongoing gang feud. Acting head of the St. Anne Police, Superintendent David White, made the disclosure while talking to the news. The deceased has been identified as 25-year-old Rasheen Housen, also known as the brother of Guys Hill St. Mary and Mansfield St. Anne. Reports are that about 7:20 p.m., citizens heard explosions and summoned the police. Upon the arrival of the lawmen, Housen was seen suffering from a gunshot wound to the head in the vicinity of Little Duns River. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Parliamentary opposition prepared to discuss crime strategies with the government. The parliamentary opposition says it's prepared to sit with the government to discuss measures to achieve consensus on crime. Speaking at a People's National Party divisional conference in the Southwest St. Andrew constituency yesterday, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell said any planned meeting to discuss the crisis should be held in good faith. The PNP General Secretary again urged Prime Minister Andrew Holness to remove Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson and the National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang from their post. He said the country's crime problem has deteriorated on their watch. Dr. Campbell cited the recent RGR Gleaner commissioned Don Anderson poll, in which most Jamaicans said they had no confidence in both men to control the crime wave. Spooked parents sending children out of community for education. Stakeholders in Eastern St. Elizabeth are present for the relocation of the Goshen Early Childhood Institution, arguing that its proximity to the community cemetery has spooked parents and driven away students who could be placed at the school. Many parents have even chosen to enroll their children outside the community because of the foible. The concern has weighed on the mind of Natalie Roper-Allen, principal of Goshen Primary, who said her team has long lobbied for a merger of the two schools. That advocacy began in 2019. There is a demand from the community for the younger children to come because the early childhood institution is located directly beside the Goshen Cemetery, and the parents dislike that, Roper-Allen said in a news interview. The early childhood institution also suffers in terms of numbers because parents opt to send their children elsewhere instead of the facility within the community belt. The principal said she had received the preliminary responses on infrastructure as well as feedback on future processes, but they are waiting on the request to be ratified. But Roper-Allen said that parents continue to plead with administrators to have their early childhood school relocated. The principal said that both school boards and the parent-teacher associations have held consultations and are soliciting the support of other stakeholders. Roper-Allen disclosed too that parents have long lamented the extra cost to transporting children to the early childhood school located about half-mile from the primary school. Its principal is Elaine Bryan. The community has been craving for the early childhood school to be transferred to this location, reason being it is costly for the parents to pay for two transportation to take their children. With that, we have written to the ministry and asked for a merger, said Roper-Allen. Desmond Williams, chairman of Goshen Early Childhood Institution, acknowledged that the school's nearness to the graveyard was cause for anxiety for some families. Because of that, there has been hesitation from parents to send their children here, so the interest was there from all stakeholders to put all efforts together to ensure the school is relocated to the primary school, Williams told the news. The board chairman theorized, however, that the construction of perimeter wall between the school and the cemetery might ease some of those concerns. Referencing the futile calls to have the wall erected, Williams said, "It has never been done, so we're at a point where we've decided to move it from here." Stakeholders have also suggested that the early childhood institution be yanked from the list of approved emergency hurricane shelters because it is prone to flooding, said Williams. But Black River Mayor Derek Sangster said he was oblivious to the concerns. "I don't know of the problem. It's something that I'd have to go and check with the council for the area, but I can't understand why after all these years, the past million years, why this sudden concern," Sangster told the news on Sunday. The mayor said he would meet with other political representatives from the area to get better insight into the problems. PNP Region 5 ready for local polls. Chairman of the People's National Party's Region 5, Kern Spencer, says the party is ready to face the electorate in local government polls and is confident of victory. Spencer, who was returned unopposed as the chairman during Sunday's annual Regional Executive Council meeting, which covers Manchester and St. Elizabeth, says the political work on the ground is at an all-time high. The parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth, as it relates to the local government elections, we are ready, Spencer declared to party delegates and other supporters at the Brompton Primary School in St. Elizabeth. He also noted that the region and the party are very disappointed that the local elections, which were due last year, had been initially postponed to this year, then further pushed back to 2023 by the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. Spencer also charged that the residents of the region are tired of the uncollected garbage in several communities across the two parishes. They are fed up of the garbage that is being piled up right across the parishes of St. Elizabeth and Manchester. "We can't be living in Jamaica where we have to be putting salt to cutting down the number of maggots in the garbage," Spencer stated. Heavy rainfall impacts the water supply to sections of St. James and Hanover. Heavy rainfall over the past few days is impacting water supply to some sections of St. James and Hanover. The National Water Commission says the showers have resulted in increased deposits of mud and debris at the intake of the Great River Treatment Plant in St. James. It says this has blocked the intake, causing a significant shortfall in the amount of water available for treatment and distribution. The NWC explains that as a result, customers, especially those in elevated sections of St. James and Hanover, will experience either low water pressure or intermittent supply. In St. James, the affected areas include Queens Drive, Leaders Avenue, Felicity, Mango Walk, Glendevon, Salt Spring, Brandon Hill, Rosemount, Cornwall Court, Rose Heights, Farm Heights, Sun Valley Road, Rectory Drive, Catherine Mount, Albion, Reading Heights, Anchovy, Chaldermoss, Leith, sections of Comfort Hall, Wilshire, Guava Walk, Spring Gardens, Belmont, Tower Hill, Moy Hall, and Unity Hall. In Hanover, the impacted communities are Kew, Elgintown, Johnsontown, Lucy, Brissett, Hoist, Malcolm Heights, Cocoon, Deas, First Hill, Montpelier, Bamboo, Macquarie, Woodland, and Blenheim. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.